Evening 6 games on Match of the Day on a chaotic and dramatic Saturday in the Premier League. All calm in the studio for now, although it might not be when Danny Murphy and Steph Houghton get stuck into our old friend VAR a little bit later on. To Old Trafford, Manchester United trying to put their League Cup defeat to Grimsby behind them against newly promoted Burnley. Commentary from Mark Scott.
To control more of the game, especially in the first half. Sometimes it's hard to understand how we are going to miss so many opportunities, but in the end we won. Let's move on.
How important is it for you to get your first Premier League goal for Manchester United?
Yeah, of course, I'm very happy with this. We win at the end as well, so it's even better. And for a striker, obviously, it's important to get confidence with goals, and yeah, I'm very happy.
And there was never any point when you worried about whether you'd still be here for the next match?
No, I know, guys. I know sometimes it's me that start that. Again, I'm really emotional, and it's good for you guys, so you have fun. I understand, because to be boring for you is not an option. So I will try to continue.
We started the game really slowly, really slowly. I'm immensely proud. Second half, we was a real threat and was really worthy of our goals. Disappointing with how the game ends, of course. That's the way the game's gone now. Obviously, we're becoming a very sterile game. The on-field decision at that time, the ref didn't give the foul. So I don't know whether it's clear and obvious. That's the rule. And at that moment, we've re-refed it with VAR, who obviously sees it as a clear and obvious error. But it ain't the ref. It's a fella 200 odd miles away in a van who's decided it, really. So that's the way the game's going, and we understand that.
You can understand his disappointment. You can maybe understand his frustration with the bloke in the van 200 miles away. But was it a penalty for you? Let's deal with that first.
I think it was, when we look at all these different angles, and I think for me Ahmad was brilliant for Manchester United. He caused Burnley a lot of problems with his direct play, but also giving and going, and I think as soon as he passes that ball to Bruno and he gets into the box, Anthony, I think for me it's a mistake to try and grab him, because I think Hartman's there to help him. I think the key thing is, Chappers, the ball's going back into Ahmad's path, but also as soon as he grabs the shirt pull continues into the box. So for me, I think once you see that, it becomes a little bit more clearer, but I understand Scott Parker's frustration.
And they do take into account the path of the ball and whether someone's going to get there. Ruben Amorim didn't look, just like he didn't at Grimsby, but they do take into account the path of the ball. Yeah,
I think it's important. I think if Ahmad's got a chance of getting there, and I think with his pace and him forward running and defenders recovering, I think he gives himself a bit of a chance, and maybe that shirt pull really hindered his movement to get on the end of the ball. The
thing from Manchester United's point of view is there really should have been, as kind of both managers alluded to in their interviews, they should have been home and dry after the first half.
Well, there's a lot of criticism after the Grimsby performance, rightly so, for the manager and the players, and I think what all United supporters wanted to see today was a reaction in the intensity, in the passion, in the desire, and the quality, of course. And they certainly got that first half. And you're right, the game should have been put to bed. There was many good performances. This ain't about tactics. This ain't about that element of the game. This is simply who wants to work hard, make tackles, close people down, and then who's got the courage to play the courageous passes and try and open the team up and risk making mistakes. He's unlucky in Bruno there. Brilliant pass from Fernandes after Mount had won the ball back. Sometimes this is the quality I'm talking about. You have to be switched on. You're at home in the Premier League. You've got to get the fans excited. Mount was exceptional in the first half. Again, closing Walker down here. This is the one where they actually gave a penalty, and then they changed their mind on that one, rightly so as well. I thought that was the right decision. Bruno setting the press. Mateus Cunha thought he was good until unfortunately he had to go off injured, putting pressure on Burnley. And if you do that against anyone, you're going to get the fans behind you. Of course, set plays, they got their reward for all their good play, but this is the desire to get in there and win headers. Casemiro's good at that. They get a bit of luck, but they deserve that bit of luck after their performance. And I thought Ahmad as well was terrific today. Doesn't always play the position he wants, but he was sharp with the ball. He was great without the ball. And this would have capped off a fine first half performance from Manchester United. Maybe Mbeumo could have gone himself. And
that is a difference to last season, isn't it? That energy and press, that is different.
Well, they've got more legs. If you looked at the starting lineup, if you think of Mount, he's always been good without the ball. Cunha's quick, strong, and Mbeumo's quick, strong. So you can be more athletic.
And yet, they nearly threw it away in the second half. And look, there's so much criticism of the system, or the tactics, or the manager. But I know you both think here, sometimes the individual has to take the responsibility.
Today, for sure, I've been a big critic of the system. I don't think it's suited them, and I'm still not sure about it. Today, that wasn't what in question or why Burnley got back in the game. Excuse me. The first goal was poor communication, ill discipline at the back in terms of organisation, and that's on the players. Ruben Amorim can only do so much. Look, desire to get back in. There's 8 back in their own half, all running back to get back in position to help their teammates. De Ligt's one of the 3. He follows Foster out, who makes the run. Right decision. Don't try and play him offside there. Dalot has now switched position with him. Now that's okay, because they're still in a good shape. Now this is where the problem starts. You can see the 2 men on the right, Foster, De Ligt and Dalot, confused. De Ligt is saying to Dalot, get yourself back out there, because he doesn't want to be out there, of course. He's a centre defender. Dalot going, I'm not sure what you want me to do. What day is it? Too late. Poor communication. Now, not only does Dalot not get out there, De Ligt lets Foster go. Now he needs Shaw to help him out because he's switched off just for that second. It's only milliseconds. It's a beautiful ball, but there you've got 2 centre-halves marking no one, and Dallow's 15 yards off the cross.
And Danny, I think for me this sums it up. I think this is from a long throw, Cal Walker, a long throw. Casemiro's job is to stop the flick on. Bruno Fernandes is probably doing 2 jobs, maybe marking the players on the edge of the box, but the most important thing is communication, organisation, especially between them 3 centre-halves and your goalkeeper, knowing where your players are, being ready for the second balls and the drop down and being first to it, and that's Burnley's equaliser, and that could have changed the game for Man United in the long run.
So you have sympathy for him in those situations?
I do.
Yeah.
They're international players.
Individual players, I think, experienced players, played a lot of football. I think in their moments where you can really control situations, they need to be better.
You've just kind of argued with yourself, haven't you, there? Really?
I enjoy that.
I know. Well, if
do you know what? I think this is the second show I've done.
Yeah.
And I'm praising United again, because also I've got to say, when you go 2-2 at home and the crowd get a bit deflated, they win again. You know, they really pushed on and they got the winner at the end. So just let's leave it at that.
All right. I mean, if there's one pundit who's going to praise United, you'd be near the bottom of my list. If there's one pundit who's going to argue with themselves, you're right at the very top of that list. Right, Wolves.
He ended well. I think we deserved in the end to win the game. I think we create a lot of chances. We should go to the half-time with a bigger advantage. And then everything in this moment, every possession near our box, they can score, and we are in that moment. So it's tough, always chasing a lot of things. But we deserve, and we try until the last minute to score goals. We have our chances, and in the end, we deserve the win.
I'll just ask you about Mason Mount and Matthias Cunha, how they are.
I don't know. We will check them. We need that guys really bad to be really competitive.
Well,
you said yesterday, Ruben, that sometimes you love your players and sometimes you hate them. Sometimes a bit in the middle. I imagine you went through all of that a bit.
Yes, some moments, but when they put the effort, I will always love them. Even when Ahmad is missing that kind of goal, I love Ahmad if he's giving everything. And I think that is we need to understand that we should have always be on this level of effort, because even in the game we play well in the beginning. I think we struggle when we change the characteristics of the players, because the match is not so perfect and you can feel it. The team struggle a little bit, especially in the second half, but the effort was always there. We try to put the ball in the box. We put more people inside the box, not just around the box to play the ball. So some of the things that we worked during the week and spoke about, they were doing that. They were focused in the game. So that is the most important thing.
Yeah, Richard, then Simon. Hi, Ruben. I'm just wondering if you talk about the situation with Benjamin Sesko, because you didn't bring him on when either Cunha or Mount was injured, and also the other night he only took the 10th penalty, which surprised people. So
everything is connected. So he finished the game with cramps, really in the limit. That's why we protect Ben from the penalties. And today was that reason also, because Josh is also a striker, he's an international striker. But I was thinking that Ben, during the preseason, he didn't do 90 minutes. And he did that even against a 4th division team. He did that on Wednesday. and with the problem of Cunha, you don't know if that full game in the middle of the week has something to do with the injury today. With the problem with Mason Mount, I was not risking another player, not knowing if they are able to play so many minutes. So everything was connected. The penalty, the game on Wednesday, and the number of minutes that I was thinking to put Ben today.
Ruben, you say that it feels like the opposition can score when they get possession round your box, but one of the reasons for that is that your goalkeepers keep making mistakes. And I realise everybody makes mistakes, but the goalkeeper in particular. Is that a problem? Because that undermines confidence, surely, in your defence.
Guys, they are humans, and if you Manchester United, everything is a news. Everybody talk about the goalkeeper, and you can see I can change the goalkeepers in the situations happen. We are in that moment. I think it's hard to be a Manchester United goalkeeper in this moment. But if you look, the first goal, we can defend better the box. We suffered a quite similar goal against Fulham because we don't do the full rotation of the team when the ball is in the other side. All these small things has nothing to do with the goalkeeper. Players are struggling a little bit with all the things that around the club, and that is normal. So it's not just the goalkeepers. I think everybody has to improve.
Laurie, and finish with Sam. Hi, Ruben. Are you pleased with how your players responded after Wednesday in terms of the team collective, the moves that you're creating look like they've been worked on the training ground? And just a quick word on Mbeumo as well. It looked like a really standout performance from him in terms of that.
Yeah, it was like impressive the way he stretched the team, the quality that he has in the first touch, and you can feel that we are a different team because when we win the ball, we have one guy stretching the team. And we didn't have last season. We struggled a little bit with that, and then you can see the first minutes of the game. You can understand, you can compare this to Wednesday, and you can feel it. It's not about playing well, it's the sound of the fans when we are pressing and winning balls and corners, and you sprint to get a corner, you sprint to get a throw in. It's nothing to do with the tactical or technical aspect. So today I just need to watch sometimes the first minutes to understand the mindset of the team.
Ruben, everyone's looking for this turning point, and obviously this is a small step. When will you know? When will you see that this is what you want?
The important thing is that we were, if you take Wednesday, we were more consistent in the performance compared to last year. That is a good thing. But I'm not thinking about turning point. I had this conversation with you guys like 10 times. So I'm not. It's day by day. I'm happy we return, sometimes playing well or not so well. We return a little bit the team that we should be. Competitive, creating chances, we need to score. Sometimes we block the opponent in their half, we press really high. So we have a lot to do, but we return a little bit to our level today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.